At which point in your IT project should you be implementing extra tools? My name is Daniel Graversen. I've been working with SAP integration for over 15 years. And during this time, I've been on numerous projects, small and big projects. And the way it works is much the same. So we've created a tool that makes it a lot easier to manage, run SAP integration, that being SAP PI, PO, CPI, Cloud Platform Integration, and the API management tools. And we have bundled it into 3 different categories. So we got a part about doing development, and with our development we have option to do Git integration, which enables you to take your full CPI repository, put it into Git repository where developers can develop on, because it's a lot easier to develop a Groovy script XSLT in a real editor and run tests directly there. We have something about we can share scripts, so you don't need to just put in the same script and not knowing which versions is used in the different tools or different iFlows. And we got some testing that allow you to do regression testing or unit tests of your Groovy scripts. We got a governance part that makes it easier to deliver iFlows or ICOs, where you have some part about doing transportations, doing configuration, so you don't need to go in manually afterwards and figure out what's the username of this in production. We got documentation, how do you document these things, and lastly we have a part about doing testing. Then we have a support part that allows you to set up alerting, that if something fails, you can set up a rule and notify someone or process or retrigger the message depending on what type of messages, what kind of information you have there. And for some of the tools for CPI, we have some monitoring capability that allows it a lot easier for you to monitor what's going on in the system. So when does it make sense to implement the Figaf tool into your projects? So we have a project here. It has a start phase, it has a testing phase, it has a go live phase, and then some hypercare support, and then the project ends. You may talk agile or whatever. In general, I would say that this is the same way that they would work. They may just be a little smaller in some of the different areas. Yeah, so where does it make most sense? So I would argue that the earlier you can get into the project, the better, because some of the tools will allow you to manage the CPI and PI easier, and that means that you don't need to build as many custom things, and that's what we wanted to make. So you don't have to build too many custom projects codes, and you can just use a standard flow. And then we want to leverage the alerting capabilities and some of these things, so it makes it a lot easier for you to develop your CPI flows. So also when you're doing testing with the business, you can build up a lot of these test cases, test scripts that you can automate, and then you can actually run them whenever you have a bug and want to fix it. It's really easy to add and run these things. So in the test phase, it's good to implement the tool. Once you get into some kind of a critical go live, frozen zone, whatever, or close to that, it doesn't make sense. It's too late and you are not able to leverage what the tool is able to do. And then once you're gone live, you obviously have hypercare, and there you don't have time to implement new projects. And then towards the end, it would make sense again to start implementing the tool, starting with the support part, setting up monitoring, using the governance part about being able to transport, manage these different kind of things, and then lately set up the development phase. So that would make sense. Obviously, you may have multiple projects running in parallel or sequential or something like that. And then it would make sense that if project number 2 is started, you are in a go live on this one. Maybe you probably want to do start using the tool in this project once it is live or you are in the OK zone down here, you can implement the tool also to cover this. So you would get some operational experience with the tool here that you can then feed back into your next project and leverage some of these tools and techniques. I hope this has been insightful, something that you can learn about how the tool works. If you want to check out more what the Figaf tool can do, making it a lot easier for you to run SAP integration, go to figaf.com/IRT.